Welcome back.
Welcome back,
to
everybody.
another fucking episode of A Few Brews. It's your boys, Nick and Frank, and we're just hanging out here.
Exactly.
How you doing?
Good. How's your week going so far?
Good. I mean, I can't fucking complain. Hold on. First things first. We got a little coffee here.
Yeah, spike me up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spark you up.
Cover that brand right there.
Yeah, fuck that. Here we go. Say one, all right?
That's good.
You started scaring me. I didn't know what was happening. But, dude, so we got to talk about something.
Yeah, go for
I was waiting to bring this up until we were on the pod and recording.
Yep.
But you were rocking a new shirt, and I'm kind of digging it.
Thank you.
Yo, where's it? I mean, where's it from?
Old Navy, yeah.
Pretty. I like
Not
it.
sponsored by Old Navy.
Although,
right? I'll wear their clothes every day if they want to sponsor me. Yeah, this is from my mom. She got it for me. She was like, they have a nice sale at Old Navy today. She's like, make sure you go and look. So I was like, yeah, I'll look if you're buying, right?
What an angel.
Yeah.
There you go. I like the fact that you tucked your shirt in with it, though.
Yeah. I don't even have a nice belt. I just feel like it was more proper.
What are you rocking on your feet, though?
I got a pair of Ugg slippers.
Oh, my boy's just moving tactical
the
AF.
green matches with the green.
He's just moving tactical. I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. Does it?
Yeah. It's not like the JMO mix, but
It's the parabens.
I didn't get any sugar in my coffee because my sugar was a little high.
So instead, you took a little whiskey with
yeah,
it.
so I threw a little whiskey in there just to
What are you gonna do,
level me out a little bit. Yeah, man.
dude? Oh shit! Holy fuck!
Yeah.
I did that to myself. I can't even lie,
It's the size of the cup.
bro. You were talking about a podcast before.
Yeah.
You sent it to me. It was for what's his name? I can never.
It was
pronounce it
your
right.
mother's house. It was Tom Segura and I don't want to say his name wrong either. I think it was
Stavros. Stavi,
yeah.
baby. Yo, did you actually watch the episode like that?
I got a little, maybe like under an hour. I saw a little bit of.
You got lost in the sauce. It sounds like.
Yeah, I always get lost. But I got just under an hour. I was watching it up until he had like a little bit of like something with the news about Erie, Pennsylvania. So that was like what I got up to, and then I had a couple of things I had to do, so I had to run out of the house. But it was definitely funny.
Did you look at the part of the podcast where they were talking about like Stav's Instagram when it first started?
Nah, I didn't get up that far. I basically ended at the Erie, Pennsylvania after the two cops were like, "Oh yeah, it's hilarious."
Bro, you gotta see this. I gotta fucking. So basically, his Instagram is fucking wild. When he first started, he's like trying to figure out, I guess, like how to get, clicks, and also like how to make like a commentary on fucking just life in general. Let's see. Okay, so this is his Instagram that I have up on the screen.
Yeah.
Hold up 1 second.
Oh boy. You have to edit that part out, right?
Yeah, it's not recording from there. All right, well, fuck that. Anyways, he was dressed as a fucking baby in half of them. He just had a baby fucking diaper on. Like, literally, he was talking about how he was wearing a diaper. Another one, he was in a fucking bathtub. And it was just his fucking... Because he's a bigger dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we're big dudes, but he's like a bigger dude.
Yeah, he's well-rounded. And beautiful, right?
He's a voluptuous man.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
I can say. But basically... Oh, shit. I just saw that this was in the shot. Here we go.
The what?
This phone.
It's a new angle.
New angles, baby. New angles for new dangles. So we're all good. It was just showing the light over there.
Oh.
But, yeah, voluptuous fucking man, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking interesting. He had, like, fucking covered himself with fucking chicken wings. It was just sauce everywhere, and he was just sitting there.
It's always great to see these guys, like when they're brand new, right? Because he's probably, like, around our age, right?
I don't know. How old is he?
Because he's, like... I remember seeing, like, clips of him and, like, laughing at, like, his earlier shit would kill me. And I'm like, who is this guy? When he would be on stage with, like, a tracksuit, and you'd be like, who is this guy? He's, like, half balding. He's just,
take a
you can
fucking
tell
guess.
he's
Take
probably,
a
like,
guess.
28.
He's 33 years old.
Oh, shit.
I think it's the hair, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he had no hair here. He was.
Nah, he's gotta rock
shaved it.
the half hair. I like that, man. You gotta keep it
He
going.
looks fucking classy.
Yeah, no. He's definitely Greek with a name like that.
Nah, he's an Italian boy. Dude, what else is going on in the world?
I don't know. I don't really know. There's just been a lot of stuff going on, but I haven't been up to date with anything. I've just been really. I had a couple appointments. I had things to run around to today, and last night I had to go to bed a little early just to get my kid to sleep.
My boy's going to bed early now.
I had to get my kid to sleep. If I stay up, he wants to hang out with us. So I'm like, nah.
He's just one of the boys. That's why.
Yeah, that he is.
Yo, I can't even get into that. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a fucking good day so far.
Yeah. You know what I actually wanted to talk about? You know what's funny? Like Tom Segura, the comedian, was saying how like when he started out, he went to a lot of clubs that were like no curses, like it had to be clean comedy.
All of them talk about how that was like an era.
Yeah, and that's like whack, right? I feel like you're so. I mean, it's a hit or it depends on what kind of crowd I guess you're going into. I mean, you don't want to go to like a stand up spot like the one I sent you the other day over here.
Oh yeah. And, Governors, right?
Yeah, Governors. Like, I don't know, because you might get a crowd where they're like disgusted by you cursing and saying all this wild shit, and then you might get a crowd that's just into it, you know? Like, because I would be into it. Like, if you go there, like, and someone's talking, like, and they're saying like some foul shit, you're like, oh no, whatever. Like, you laugh it off. Other people might not like that. You know what? I mean?
I've listened to like a couple of different like comedians talk on like that point exactly, and I think what it was is that back then people were trying to
fix this.
Oh, there you go.
But I don't get why it says that.
Because you can't record anymore.
This is what happened the other day. We're gonna have to edit this part. Let's see. Sorry, give me a second.
No, just throw this one in then. And then hook
Is that one dead or it's on?
No, hook it up to the charger because yours isn't going to be using power now.
I got to go through my phone when we're done here. We should hook up one of the GoPros here, right?
Yeah, once we figure out how to do it. It'll be good. It's the only way.
Yeah. I don't want to put too much pressure on the screen. Let's get that angle for you.
Yeah, just
good.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
There we go.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and that's just so that we could sync it, so that everything syncs up.
Yep.
Okay. So we were talking about basically comedians. You mentioned that Tom had basically talked about how in the beginning there was no cursing allowed, right? Mm. I heard a couple people talk about that before. I think the reason for that was because, like, think about it. They were coming up in the late 80s, 90s era, mid-90s. And back then, when you were getting big, I feel like the trajectory, like the normal trajectory of a comedian who was doing stand-up, like the next way that you elevated as a comedian was that you basically got a sitcom.
Yeah.
And think about it. If you were in the 90s on a sitcom,
yeah, there was a big deal.
There was no cursing, but it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal to get your face on there.
That's how you like launched your career, basically.
Yeah. And now what happened? There's like no sitcoms. I haven't seen a sitcom in God knows how long. I mean, right?
I mean, there are definitely sitcoms out, but I can't really name any that are good.
Yeah, me neither. All the comedians that I follow or that I watch are either doing bits on. I've seen them on Instagram or YouTube, or they're in a podcast just talking and promoting their own show or their own special.
Right.
But I haven't seen any of the comedians, like the latest guys, doing any sitcom.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's there anymore, right?
I don't think so either.
People are more into, like, reality. I think people want to see more of, like, what's going on, and they want to hear more about...
I feel like they want to
relatable.
Yeah, and they want to watch, like, podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, too? Because they said that this wave of, like, podcasting, like, I mean, it started, like, if you look at the first ones, like, the most successful ones, like Joe Rogan's and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've been out for a while.
Like, 10-plus years.
Yeah.
But now I feel like there's another, like, resurgence. Like, the people who weren't there to, like, actually do business. They fucking... They did it. They fucking paper fucking clipped and rubber banded a few microphones together, and then they're like,
Yeah.
it's hard to get fucking views.
Yeah.
I'm out this motherfucker.
I think it's you have to have you. I mean, for us, we probably don't have like crazy views. We probably don't have like any, but I feel like once we get out there and we put our face like more at these clubs and stuff like that, when we try to book a couple of shows, like maybe we'll get more views and people will understand like more of like what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, I feel like people just want to like listen to like somebody's perspective on stuff, especially stuff they could relate to and shit like that. Oh shit! Did that just cut off too?
Yeah.
All right, fuck that. We're scrapping that angle completely.
All right,
Don't worry about it. We got these two right here.
Yeah.
That's all we fucking need. Bro, it's just been a fucking interesting time.
Yeah,
this
it is.
podcast. We can't even lie. It's gonna be an interesting time doing this
trying
podcast.
to get it together and everything.
Because the thing is that it's hard to do.
Yeah.
And like from the surface, it's like, oh, just set up like a camera or two, you'll be good.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that.
Dude, like even just now, like you run into technical difficulties all the time.
Yeah, and there's like nothing you can do about it besides like I have to sit here and like clear my phone out or something.
I did that the other day, but I was like airdropping the videos that we had because we have a few clips of different things that we've been trying out, like a few bits and stuff like that. I was trying to airdrop it to my laptop, and my laptop's like, nah.
Yeah.
Like we ain't gonna.
It's like
we
this
don't have
isn't
space.
happening.
We don't
today.
have space for this.
It's crazy because I don't really take pictures, and like Lydia takes all the pictures of everything. Everything we do, she's the one with the camera. I don't know camera angles. I don't know how to do none of that. That's why I give so many props to people who edit and record because I could never do it. I just don't know how to do it. Yeah.
It's a whole thing. But what are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, definitely. It's a learning process. This whole thing is a process of learning.
It's fucking fun though. Just fucking chilling, dude. Bill fucking Burr, the legend himself.
Yeah, he's funny. I don't know what just happened.
I don't know. It sounded like a coyote outside or something.
Old Yeller, right?
Old Yeller, bro.
I like this guy Andrew Schultz. He's funny.
Oh, on Flagrant?
Yeah, he says some funny shit.
Oh, this is the whole podcast. Oh, let me see. Oh, it has a thing for just podcasts.
What do you think about Andrew Tate? What's your take on him?
Ooh, it's a controversial topic.
Yeah.
So nobody likes him in the first instance because they think he's like hyper masculine.
Yeah.
All that shit, right? That's exactly what it is. That he's like demeaning to women and stuff.
Yeah.
What do I think of him? I feel like he is masculine to the point where it's like I could see why people would be offended.
Yeah.
I personally don't find him offensive because it's like anything else. Like if somebody's just yelling in the street and he's saying like fucking, repent for your sins, Jesus is coming. It's like
I know what you mean.
Like regardless of what I think about what that person is saying, it's just a person that's yelling in the street.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I agree. I think everyone who did find him offensive was like looking into it too much. Like, yeah, like that's what this whole era is about now. It's all about like people on social media, like
getting
trying
offended,
to get
and then trying to cancel people.
Yeah, and getting their voice out there where like it's like my thoughts and my beliefs are more than yours. So if I want to cancel you because I don't like what you're saying, it's like you have to get canceled.
They did cancel him.
Yeah,
they removed literally
everything.
They removed everything from everything.
I just see it like I like to be like up to date with everything. I just don't care enough to think like I have to say something that like I can't. I have nothing to say. Like it's just what he wants to say. Like that's him.
Right.
And like what I feel and what I think is different, or if it's the same, like it's just I have no. You know what I mean? I have no say on another person.
So a controversial thing to say in this day and age, and this kind of goes in line with like Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Yeah.
Too. It's like I kind of feel like everybody should be allowed. I mean, within the confines of the law as it is, like you can't do anything that might be a danger to other people that might cause like mass hysteria, like fire in a movie theater, that classic example. But like short of that, if you want to say crazy stuff and people don't like what they have to say, well, guess what? You could buy a microphone. You can hook up your phone and you can talk into that phone and speak out as much as you want. And people, if you have an intelligent viewpoint, or even if maybe you don't have an intelligent viewpoint, might relate to what you're saying. And like that's the whole point of the United States and the country we live in.
You don't have to agree with everything, and you could disagree with everything.
You could disagree with literally everything, and there are people like that who just want to be contrarians. It's like, okay, if everybody's saying the sky is blue, I'm going to say it's green.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're right, whether or not it's based in fact, they will just do that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people don't understand that.
That's what this country was built off of. Just people just going after each other, like,
and
fucking talking shit.
Literally, in the Federalist Papers, some were written by, like, Alexander Hamilton and all that stuff, when they were talking about freedom of speech and why it was so important to be guarded. In the Bill of Rights, it's exactly that. Like, it's the thought process of, like, having a town square and having people be able to speak out their ideas and not be fucking... shut down immediately. That, like, the process of hashing out that ideas in a public setting, the best ideas would come to the top, and things that didn't make any sense or things that people didn't like would just be disregarded over time because they'd be disproven or just they would fall out of favor.
Yeah.
So what do you think of fucking Elon Musk?
What I think of him, I think he has...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is he or is he not an alien?
He's definitely an alien, man.
The answer the people want.
You know what it is? I don't think he's an alien, per se. I think that he gets... The same thing with the pyramids and all this stuff from back before our time, before everything. I think that he gets help from a celestial being. Like, he gets help from something else. So? Yeah, man.
You like don't believe that there's a way that man is just like that smart?
Listen, you could be smart and learn. Like, you could sit here and look up how to build a rocket, right? But you need to actually, just with science in general, there's you pass and you fail. Like, it takes time. Like, you do things and it just, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
work it out with me. Let's do this together.
So, like, everything with science is experiments.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And people do experiments and they try them over and over and there's just a lot of failure.
Yeah.
You're telling me this guy just went and he's just like, oh, I'm going to build a rocket. Like, he's just, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I could be wrong. A lot of stuff there's a lot of money that comes into it. He has money too. So
yeah, a lot of stuff that he's done, I feel like he's improved on. Because what has he actually, like, invented?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe there are things, but, like, for example, the rocket ships that he's built.
Yeah.
People have made rockets before. Yeah. What he's done, and what I think he's done continuously, whether it's that or, like, the Tesla itself, the car, is he finds what's been made before, and then he finds a way to improve it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
From like, for example, with the rockets.
Yeah.
He noticed that, when you would send the rocket up, when it would come back down, it just, like, splashed down.
Yeah.
And it would be destroyed, and you're just wasting millions of dollars. And he was like, how do we get this thing to land so we don't have to just throw all this money in the ocean?
Damn, now my alien idea just doesn't seem good.
I mean, no, it could definitely still do that because before that, nobody could fucking land a rocket.
But it's, like, crazy because a lot of people think, like, that guy's, like, not from this world, right?
They do.
They think, like, oh, he's getting help or he's an alien or...
His ideas are just miles ahead of what any other people would think were possible. And when he does these things, like, makes improvements to whatever, he kind of, like, sheds light on the fact that, oh, shit, this guy might be able to do what he's saying, like Neuralink and stuff like that.
Yeah, that I would never do any of that shit, though.
You wouldn't?
Nah, no Neuralink and stuff like that.
You know what's crazy, though? How much different would Neuralink be than your phone right now?
Yeah, so...
Because you always have your phone on you, right?
Yeah.
It's only one step further.
I know, but it's, like, weird, right?
Am I wrong, though?
Think about, like... I see it like this, right? If you want to get Neuralink, and I think I forgot, it was, like, the Netherlands or something, they also have, like, this chip you put under your skin, like, so you could go, like, to the store and you just use your hand to pay for everything.
Oh, like Apple Pay? But
but it's, like, a chip under your skin, right?
So you never lose it?
So, like...
Like, that's just one more step.
So, like, what's to say, like, you have this Neuralink in your brain, right? And Google's already deleting people's stuff. Did you see that article? How Google is going, like, through people's, like, Google files and, like, deleting stuff. Like, they're like, oh, this isn't... It's, like, not with their standards, and people may perceive this in a certain way. Like, Kanye West had that video that he was on another podcast, and they deleted it, and nobody could find this file. And so people are going on Reddit and saying like, oh, like Google's going in everyone's files and deleting.
What did the file contain though? Like,
it was his like, I guess his I forgot the name of the podcast. It was him and Nori. It's like where they drink on the podcast, and they were just talking. And I guess Kanye West was just reflecting off of what he said, like the anti-Semitic comments and whatever he was saying, which I don't want to get into.
Not that podcast.
But no, my point is, if Google could go in there and just like delete stuff, and they could always go in your files, and like you're signed in.
Yeah.
So what's to say like they can't go in? Like this is connected to your brain now.
Yeah.
So what's to say like they can't go in there and like throw like a little like shockwave or something, throw your whole brain off.
Yeah.
Change your whole persona. And
I think that's
wake
the
up a whole
question.
different person.
I mean, I don't know. My thought would be that if it's like an addition to your body already,
yeah.
I mean, the idea that you just said where it could like shock you or something could maybe be possible.
Yeah, because they could short it out.
I think
it's a circuit, right?
But for it to like change your like actual personality, I'm not sure if that would be.
I don't know.
Also, I'm a dumb monkey. So don't ask me. I would just the way that it would make sense to me. If you're just putting a chip in there, how is it going to change like your personality?
I don't know. In some way, somehow,
it could probably like maybe it could like if it could, I guess, project like images into your mind's eye.
Think about it. Yeah,
it could probably drive you crazy.
Yeah, it could bother. They could do anything at that point. They're in control of your brain. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they could control your devices.
But
they could control
also this. What if you had a population of people who were just by putting a simple chip into their head, could now all make rockets that go to Mars or solve world hunger or create life-saving or earth-saving technology?
Yeah.
Well, would it be worth it?
I think they could do that already, right? I think they just don't want to. But
do you think that they could like make people? Because automatically, as soon as you have that in your head, you're smarter.
Yeah, because you could use the power of Google
exactly
in your own head.
Or somebody would just download a book on like, I don't know, quantum physics.
Now let's go a step further, right? Now you know how Russia like goes into computers and they can scam people out, and you know they could bug stuff. Now what's to say they can't bug like the chip in your head?
There is nothing to say
that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't. I mean, personally, I wouldn't get it. I have a phone right here. You know, like I could just take my phone and Google, or I could even use Apple Pay. And
okay, I'm gonna push back.
I don't know, man.
What if there was like 100,000 spots in every county?
Yeah.
And if you volunteered, you would get paid $1 million a year to just get it placed in your head.
Yeah.
And to be part of a team that does whatever they assign you to do for that county. I don't know,
because there's also like this other theory like
Go ahead,
that I follow. I mean, I'm pretty religious. I mean, I know people
we're going
but like
there?
The mark of the beast, I'm not getting no chip in my head. I don't know if it's considered that, or it's just something that like I'm not for getting anything in my body. It's like weird.
The mark of the beast.
Yeah, I just don't want anything.
Tell me more about that. What does that mean exactly? Because I'm the opposite. I don't really know too much about that.
I don't know. I don't want to get into it. It's like you know, it's just like
for the sake of your argument.
It's like the end of times. Like there would be like this mark, like that, and you have to like knowingly and willingly get it. You know. But like, there's a saying like, or I guess it's in the Bible, like. There will be something like that's gonna mark, and like you can't go back into heaven. You can't go like follow the Lord after that. Like I don't know like how to fully describe it. I'm not good with like I read it and I believe it. I don't like to preach it. You know, I want everybody to follow their own thoughts. You know.
But what if like the cell phone is already that?
No, because it says that there has to be a sign, and you have to knowingly know it's the mark of the beast. You can't just go and like, oh shit, I just got it. I didn't know. It's something that the Lord's gonna like make sure that you know you're getting, so you know that you ain't getting into heaven. You know, you can't get tricked. It's something that it's knowingly.
So what if the Neuralink didn't say anything on it?
I don't know, but I know it could control. I know it could control your mind. I know it could do all that stuff. I like don't want to get it. Yeah, I don't know, man. The generation after us is already obsessed with computers. You know, like I can't get my son off the tablet. He's
You
2
know what?
years old.
I was
right?
just gonna
So
say.
think about that. Imagine having that in your brain. You're gonna be a zombie
You
walking
just
around
be like staring
stuck.
at the wall, like, but you're on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, you're sitting there like, oh, let me Google this. And like I get lost on Google. I start Googling things, it leads me to the next topic, and then I'm down a rabbit hole, you know?
And then the
Same
next
thing with
thing you
YouTube,
know,
like I'm down a rabbit hole. Imagine being on the train sitting there like a zombie, like, oh, let me YouTube this. And I'm just sitting there like downloading all this data. You know, just
but what if it would make your life better? Now people do that for free and they just watch garbage. What
I
if it
don't
was
know.
like they forced you to like actually like learn like useful things?
Well,
And then they said, okay, because you learned this, we're
Yeah.
gonna pay you more.
I don't know, man.
Think about the opportunities that would make for people who are like in poverty.
Yeah.
Because think about it, the
How
argument.
much are these Neuralinks?
I don't know.
Look it up.
That's not okay. We should look it up.
Because someone like, I mean, I personally wouldn't get it. I get what you're saying.
Okay, so to finish that thought though,
Mm.
what the people in those like stereotypically like more impoverished communities, they don't have
Yeah.
the whole argument now is that they don't have the same access to
Yeah.
higher education or education
Yeah.
period. And if that would even out the intellectual playing
Maybe.
field,
But
would you be opposed?
You think they're just gonna give away something like that for free to people who are in a lower community? You know what I mean? Like
You know what? And this might sound fucked up, but does it not make sense with a
they're like
capital
guinea pigs.
with a capitalistic society? Instead of 1 million, they would pay them 100,000 a
Yeah.
year,
Oh,
and then
just to get it out there,
exactly get
yeah.
it out there, and then you have workers, and then you're dangling a little
The
cash
fucking money carrot.
on the
yeah.
other on the end of that stick.
I can see it.
It's a slippery slope. There are a lot of I feel good things that could happen from it, like I
Yeah.
just said, and a lot of bad things
Yeah.
that could fucking happen from it.
Sketchy business. That's what I like to call it.
Oh, there's actually Neuralink stock. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah. I was just right. Like, how much would a Neuralink be? Right? I don't know, man. Are you gonna have like You gonna have real doctors, or is it gonna be like Elon Musk is like fucking one of his warehouses? You're gonna go there, they're gonna pop you in the head real quick. You're gonna walk out fucking Nikola Tesla or something like that. Oh, it's actually It's actually a company of doctors,
Yeah.
right? A robotic surgeon.
So it says Musk said that the entire procedure will be done by a robotic surgeon, a Neuralink robot,
Yeah, so robots plugging it in your head.
and he expects the surgery to cost around a few $1,000s.
Mm. You can't even get stitches for like a few $1,000. So think about it. Someone's gonna cut your head and do all this procedure, go through the bone, right?
It's saying that it could heal tinnitus. It could probably heal. You know, that's another thing. What if it's like a thing that you could get into your mind, right into your brain, and then if you were like blind or deaf before, and it like cures it.
But that goes back to what I'm saying. Like if it could get into your brain like that, where
I'm not saying
where
it. I'm
tinnitus
not saying-
is like like you
Yeah.
you know you like you get a ringing or like something throws off your eardrums, you know.
Right.
So if it could heal that and correct that, what's to say it can't cut your eardrums off? If it could heal your ear, like if it could heal tinnitus or
I
aid
don't
with
know.
that, what's to say it can't just like cut your hearing off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like that shit's crazy.
You gotta trust Muskie boy.
Yeah. It's 50-50. I mean, I don't want it. It is. I like the argument you're bringing up though, like for helping and making you smarter. But
I'm not a pro Neuralink guy. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking of arguments that could be made. You know,
yeah, shit.
it's just an interesting fucking topic.
They should give it out for free, right? A couple $1,000 to Elon Musk is like a couple of fucking
That guy is so fucking rich.
couple dollars to me, you know?
It's not even funny, bro.
Yeah.
Oh God! Did you watched the UFC fight the other day, right? Did you stay for the
No.
main event? You
No, I
left
didn't
before
get.
the main
Yeah, I
event.
didn't get to watch it.
Do you remember the last event that you saw?
I didn't watch any of it. I was drinking, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! We ended up buying it. We watched the.
Yeah, I was there when they got it. I was there for the first match, and then I
the
didn't. But I
Peruvian
didn't.
guy?
Yeah, I didn't want. I didn't go inside and watch it. I stood outside when we were drinking on the patio. I was just hanging out.
It's the only way.
Yeah,
It was a
is.
pretty good fight.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was it? UFC?
Yeah.
UFC results. I always forget the guy's name. Okay, so it was Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Yeah. And then we watched another good one was Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler. Bro, that was a war.
Yeah.
That was a war. And then Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira fight.
Yeah.
Bro, I was pro Izzy for that fight. Did you see any clips on like YouTube or anything?
Yeah, I saw some on Instagram.
Bro, so Izzy got he ended up getting like TKO'd basically.
Yeah, he got knocked out?
Not like knocked out, but he got rocked and then he stopped defending himself, so they called it TKO, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I miss the old UFC when people used to, like when like Chuck Liddell and all these guys were there, where people get like their arms broken and knocked the fuck out.
They still do, but you want to know the fight that actually got me into UFC?
Which one?
It's Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez.
You know who's smart as fuck? The two brothers. What's their name?
Nick Diaz.
No. They were YouTube stars. These guys.
Jake Paul and
the Paul brothers. They're fucking smart, bro.
They are. They're kind of just like marketing geniuses.
Yeah, they are.
All right, so this is Sanchez and Guida.
Brought to you by Burger King. You see that?
Do you see this? This is the first fight that I've ever seen. You don't see guys fight like that.
Nah, not no more. It's like too savage now. People don't want to watch that. I want to watch it, though.
Yeah, what?
I see people getting fucked up.
Like this Diego flying knee, uppercuts Clay Guida against the fence. I don't know if we can play the audio. I think it might be copyright protected.
Oh, yeah, it's by UFC. Yeah, they might.
But it's just Clay Guida, Diego Sanchez going at it, trading.
Look at the ref. He's like, let me see.
Trading blows, brother. Yeah. I mean, look at that. He's got him up against the fence. Uppercut. He just keeps going for the uppercut because Clay Guida keeps ducking his head.
He's just like not having it today, right?
The craziest part is that Guida's just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
And he's just taking this damage. But he doesn't go down. It's all that hair. Heart of a warrior, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's lucky they don't fucking pull him by his hair, right?
Oh, got that head kick going. He knocked him down, but somehow he's not out. Hold on, I want to rewatch that. It's going right up. Boom!
Yeah, that should have wake you up, boy, and then put you to sleep.
So right? I felt this morning when I woke up.
Yeah, when the alarm goes off, that's how I feel too.
Yo, these two guys are just banging. And this is
like. You see how no one's trying to cut it off or anything. Now when they get socked, they're like.
Well, he just got knocked down. He didn't get knocked out. What the refs are looking for the whole time.
The refs just standing back, all right, let these guys duke it out. Now the refs are down on the floor, making sure. You know?
I'm not sure how much the rules have changed.
Yeah, I don't even know if the rules have changed. I never follow it.
But
I mean, I follow the fights, but I don't follow if they're. I feel like a lot of times they're told yo, don't be knocking each other or breaking each other's elbows and shit.
No.
Yeah.
No.
How many times do you see it anymore?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I must be not watching the right shit. I usually catch just stupid little highlights here and there because unless I go out to a place where they're showing it for free,
right.
Pay-per-view is expensive, man.
You gotta tell me, baby.
Fucking, what am I buying a ticket to
I
the
think we
first
paid
row?
$100-something for it.
Bro, you know what I do want to talk about?
What?
Who is it?
I want to talk about this next. Go ahead.
Which? Oh my God, I already forgot. If you want to talk about this,
no, go ahead. Take your time.
The comedian.
The comedian.
Yeah,
That's my problem.
Oh, Bobby Lee.
Oh, the Asian
Bobby
dude.
Lee. Did you see that clip I sent you on Instagram where he's like, "Don't laugh." He said he was violently touched.
He's like,
bro, that's fucked up. I get it where he was coming from, but how funny. Because just him saying anything is fucking hilarious.
Bobby Lee has a way of delivering information that is unlike anyone else I've ever met. I'm going to be fucking honest honest with you.
Yeah.
Because he's
fucking
told that story
hilarious.
before. If you watch like Whiskey Ginger or things like that,
Yeah.
or Tiger Belly, like he's been on both of those a couple times because
Yeah.
he's close with Santino and
He's
stuff.
fucking hilarious, man.
I forget which one I saw it on, but he's told the full story of that. If you look it up, you could see it. He's talked about it a million
that
times.
shit is fucking
It was
hilarious.
just fucked up. He's like, yeah. And the way that he says it, because even in the clip that you
Yeah.
had, I think it was Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub who he was
Yeah.
telling it to, right?
He was like, don't laugh.
He's
And,
like, I was brutally molested.
yeah.
And then there
By
was
someone with Down syndrome.
and
I
then
mean,
something. I forget what it,
but
what
he
it
was like, don't laugh. And like, when
Well-
your boy tells you not to laugh, that's automatically like, you have to fucking
And
laugh.
not only that, but the way that he just like drops all of his like emotions in his face is like, I was.
Yeah, he like changed the whole story on the second one. So you have like no other option but to laugh at
The
what
way
he's
that he
saying.
delivered it, he wants you to fucking laugh.
Yeah,
Like,
he
it's
could have
not
said
fun-
anything.
It's not funny. Don't get
No,
me
the
wrong.
situation's not
It's
funny.
fucked.
But like him delivering it just fucking
The
made
way
it
he makes
so
it
much
funny.
funnier, you know?
So much funnier. So what I wanted to show next, and this is
Yeah.
probably copyrighted too, who knows, but it's the Dave Chappelle stand-up monologue. It was the one from a couple nights ago,
Yeah, on
Saturday Night Live.
yeah, on SNL.
And he was talking about, I think, Kanye
yeah.
and the remarks that Kanye had made recently. I just want to watch it. I'm curious to see
Yeah.
what he says.
Did you watch this or no?
I haven't watched yet.
Oh, I
it's
haven't-
A,
I
it's a
haven't
first.
watched it
It's a
either.
first watch for both of us.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says.
Fucking coffee and Jack is definitely tastes delicious.
Does it?
Yeah. I like how Dave Chappelle got like they like threw him out like he was just like one crazy guy. They were like, all right, get rid of him. Like, let's not play him anywhere. They canceled everything on him before cancel was a thing too,
Yeah.
right?
Well, he
He just
dipped
up and left.
He
Yeah.
dipped. He didn't even give them a chance, but he dipped. All right,
And then he told the story like 100 times, right? Like what happened? They were like tight that he did the stand up or something like that.
no, it was just his commentary on it. He does a bit about it.
Oh, like the beginning of this, like
Yeah,
what he
that's
was
it.
saying.
Yeah.
But like, why? Isn't that like what comedy is? It's like just saying whatever, like about
See, the thing is, people have not liked Dave Chappelle
forever. Yeah,
forever.
I like his comedy.
Have you watched his last two like specials?
Yeah, on Netflix.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
talks about like trans people a lot.
Yeah,
And like what some trans people tried to do was say that in some of his bits that he was being transphobic,
yeah,
and so that's why they don't like him. So him talking about anti-Semitism now in Kanye's most recent like fucking
Yeah.
tirade. Is that the right word? Tirade? His last
he
thing
was just
that
going off. Yeah,
he was going off.
yeah,
And literally, yeah, he was just commenting on it. And people hate when he does that.
Yeah.
But literally, he's just commenting on it. Like you said, he's like talking shit about it, making
Yeah.
it funny.
So I have another thing that Kanye was saying. He was saying how like you saw how that he was like, yo, they sacrificed like my mom and how they sacrificed all these Hollywood elites like
Oh,
kids and stuff like.
He'd be on one, bro.
Yeah, he goes off at the bit, bro. But I don't know, like he goes off, and then people are like, "Oh, it's just Kanye being Kanye. He's crazy, right?"
Yeah.
But it's like, where does he like come up with this shit? You know, like why is he always going off about this shit?
I mean, if you ask some people, it's because he's mentally unstable.
Yeah,
Like he literally just has shit wrong with him.
yeah. But he's like, it's like, I say it like this: you have so much money where you could just disappear. Like I get the whole thing with like Kardashians and shit. Like they're always gonna be in the spotlight. Like that's who they are, you know. Like that's what they're built up from, you know. But for him, like he shouldn't. I can't say he shouldn't have. He is his own person. He can do whatever he wants, you know. It is what it is. But he could have just like took his money and like just been like, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm done. Like I'm not gonna be in the limelight. I don't want to see nobody. Like just dial it back a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And just disappeared. But like now they're like, nah, we're fucking taking your bank account. We're like canceling all your shit. Like,
Well, the thing is, that's different from what you were just saying. Is that
Yeah.
they're not like canceling his bank accounts? I don't think.
yeah,
I think he's not allowed to go to
To bank
certain,
with them,
certain
yeah.
places which is different from like disabling and taking away of your money.
Yeah.
And second of all, the deals that he had with like Adidas, for example, I think there might have been some other ones that ended ties with him, that cut ties with him. They were like taking away things that were like contingent on things that would not be bad for the brand. Like when the brand makes that partnership with somebody of that status, they're looking at it like from a business perspective, and that this person already has eyes on them.
We don't want to soil our name, like,
right? So, so when they go into it, this people has eyes on them. This person has eyes on them already. So it'd
the
be
whole public's fucking watching.
It'd be good. It'd be good for business. But then when you do something like he did,
it's bad.
It's bad for business, and we don't have to do business. And I think like Dave Chappelle was saying, they might also be Jewish, the owners of Adidas.
Yeah, but. It's crazy, right? I don't fucking know. It's just it's a crazy world we live in.
It is. But I think it's really his ego that's kind of stopping him from doing what you said. Yeah. Like taking your money and just like starting a new life and being like nameless somewhere.
I don't know, man.
I'm not sure if
I have like so much shit to say about the Kanye thing, but like I'm not trying to go on. No, like nothing against like Jewish people or anything like that. It's just
hold on. Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Oh, we could say whatever we want to say. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody has probably said, "Hey, nothing particularly against Jewish people."
I think for him, like I'm the whole like elite thing, like Hollywood elites, like they dictate like what people are gonna wear, what people are gonna do, this and that. Like they do control like. I'm not saying Jewish people. I'm saying like Hollywood elites, like people with the
or just people with a lot of money.
Yeah, they do control like what's going on. Like it is what it is. Like
for certain things,
Yeah, you know, like.
But what are you speaking about? Because you're speaking very generally right now. Like
I'm not trying to like trap myself in like a fucking corner here.
Give an example of what you mean though. Like what do they control specifically? Are you talking about like footwear, shoes, style? Everything. So pick one of them.
Like fucking J.P. Morgan Chase is a bank that Kanye West was banking with, right?
Yeah, I think I know that something happened with the bank.
Yeah,
I don't know which bank it was.
I think he was with. I gotta look it up, but whatever bank he was saying, right?
Right.
Like banks take your money and they give it away. Like like it's all like it's like a whole process. Like your money in the bank is so somebody else could get a loan. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's like I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I'll just stop there. It's more like,
my boy is about to get canceled.
Yeah. I think that, not saying Jewish people, I'm saying elites.
That, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like, elites run, like, they do run this shit, bro. Kanye West is like, I don't agree with him, with that. But
you know what's funny as fuck? That's exactly what Dave Chappelle said. Oh, can I finish playing this?
Yeah.
Because I think it's gonna bring everything full circle. That's what you were saying, right? That's what I wanted to keep playing it. That shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking lie. I needed to play that one last part because I knew it was coming.
Yeah. It's just hard, man, because there's just some, like, just growing up, like, some of the sayings you heard were just, like, some of the shit, like he was just saying, like, Hollywood, it's a lot of Jewish people, right? When you look at the producers and all the shit of the movies, they always, like, have, like, Jewish last names or whatever. But that doesn't go in, like, saying, like, they're all bad or any of them are bad, you know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. I don't want to. It's not something I like to. I don't want to talk about, because everything is so like sensitive now. Everyone's so sensitive. You can't say anything you want to say now.
Just like observe.
Yeah, now you got to sit back in the fucking audience and eat popcorn while other people duke it out.
Yeah.
You can't like have your own theories or your own thought process on any of this shit, because the second you do speak out, it's like, oh no, you're against like.
And that's another thing that people always talk about too. It's like, all right. You don't let people into the arena to talk about whatever the issue is that you want to talk about. And if they do say something, and they say something that's, like, let's just pretend it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, quote-unquote, wrong. in that specific, whatever it is, in that specific topic, they're actually in the wrong,
Yeah.
but they don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Instead of educating them and talking to them and getting them to change their perspective, they just
Yeah.
want to cancel them and put them under the table and not let them have a seat at the table. Which I don't agree with. I think that you should be able to like be wrong.
Yeah.
You should be able to be wrong.
Exactly.
And be educated and possibly change your mind. Or even if you don't change your mind, like some people are always going to think whatever they want.
Yeah, but that's just like a given right that we have in this country.
Right.
Like you could feel a certain way and I may not feel it.
You could be an idiot.
Yeah.
No matter what the topic is, you could be wrong.
But it's still your way of thinking, and like there's nobody other than.
I think that's exactly what it is, though. People today want to be like, well, if you're wrong, we're gonna punish you for being wrong until you avail yourself to whatever we think is right. Yeah. And I think that's dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Because what if the people who actually think that they're right? I'm not talking about these remarks in particular. I'm just speaking generally. Yeah. But what if those people that are thinking that they're right are actually the people that are wrong? Yeah.
That's like this
That's a slippery slope.
That's this whole thing I'm saying with like canceling this, canceling that. Like people not going with Kanye West. I'm saying generally speaking, like same thing you're saying. Like you can't like go around cancel everybody like because their beliefs or because of this and that. Like
talking to some people these days like
is a rough.
Especially, like, another thing that's a big topic lately is, like, the Second Amendment, specifically. Yeah. It's, like, if you're from, like, in New York specifically. Yeah. It's a blue state. You're expected to say you don't want any guns. Yeah. Period. And that guns are bad and that we should regulate them. Yeah. Regulate them in every way possible. Yeah. And that's the end of the story. You and I had a different experience when we went upstate. Yeah. Or you go into Long Island. Or you go into other places. People live differently. Yeah. The culture is different. How they grew up is different. How they consider guns is different. Yeah. I don't think that in every single place people have to think the same. Yeah. Not saying that racist remarks like that should ever be allowed because obviously like anti-Semitism, racial biases like that, like that's not okay. I think we shouldn't have to fucking say that, but I feel like you have to say it.
Like you should just have some thought in your mind like, oh, what I'm gonna say is kind of fucked up. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. But like where on points where reasonable minds can differ. Yeah. Like gun legislation, gun reform and stuff like that. Yeah. It should be a free conversation that you're having.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's a problem. Guns are a problem. But it's if you look at all these major cities where there's all these shootings, it's not rightfully, like, they're not rightfully owned. Like, you know, like, I'm not a criminal. You're not a criminal. Yeah. Like, it's okay for me with my license to go buy a firearm. Yeah. And the same goes for you.
Well, not for nothing, but we're kind of getting into, like, our wheelhouse right now. Yeah. In terms of, like, what we have experience with, like, actual experience with. Yeah. And, like, I mean, you worked as a cop. Yeah.
It's a jam right there, right? But, yeah, like, so, like you were saying, I was a police officer, so I've been around guns. You know, I've been around legal guns, illegal guns, you know? And there's a difference. Like, I've talked to old people who have guns since they were young. And then I've seen guys who are younger than me and 15 years old, 16 years old with guns. You know what I mean? And the thing that they're getting at right now is like, oh, like guns kill people and this and that. But you're not taking the guns away from people who are applying for a license, doing the background check, doing it the right way. You know, you got to go after the people who are actually committing the crime because a legal gun owner isn't really like... How many times you watch the news? It's a legal gun owner gets into a shooting. Like it's always an innocent bystander by somebody who shouldn't have a gun, and somebody should be there who had a gun, who's legally, rightfully so to carry.
That's the argument.
That could stop that whole incident.
I feel like the arguments on both sides are that like either everybody should have a gun so that like you just said when something goes down somebody could respond, like a good guy could respond and do what needs to be done in that situation, or that all the guns need to be taken away. And I feel like I mean, you know this as well as I do.
Yeah.
A lot of guns that are on the streets don't have serial numbers, don't have a way to get tracked.
And there's no right.
They were reported stolen
Yep.
from across state lines a decade ago.
Yeah.
And there's no saying how that gun made it from point A to point B, whose hands it passed through on the way, what crimes it was a part of, if any, on the way there. And not only that, but if it's not registered, isn't tied to a person, if you knock on the door of the person who had originally bought the gun, and you say, hey, listen, like, where's the gun? We want to check it. Like, just saying in a world where that would happen. Be like, oh, I don't know. We got robbed 10 years ago. And, you know, we didn't think to make a report for whatever reason. Not saying that's the right thing to do. But then you're asked out. And you don't have any more information about that. So, like,
and it's ghost.
It's a ghost gun. Yeah. Or actual ghost guns now.
Yeah.
Where you can just
3D printed guns.
3D printing guns.
See, but this is the thing about guns that gets me. So they did this whole thing, like the buyback program and all this stuff, that they were like, oh, bring your guns, your vest, bring all this stuff to the gun stores, and we're gonna ship it to Ukraine, right? So why would you want to give all of our shit away when we have so many enemies that if you're gonna give all of our shit away, what if we get invaded? Is Ukraine gonna send us guns? Like, no one's gonna donate guns to us. Like, this country was built off of war. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying give guns to wrong people, but the people who do it the right way, like, they should just be allowed. Like, all right, you have a gun, okay. Oh, you right to carry? Oh, you did training, like.
I mean, and not saying where I stand on the Second Amendment. I think you know already where I stand on the Second Amendment, but, like, literally, it doesn't have any conditions on your right to bear arms.
Yeah.
Like, literally, when you read it, it's the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah. And now you have to jump through hoops that you don't even fit through to fucking get a gun, right? It's crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, if it was any other right, like the right against search and seizure, or the right of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, and it was qualified by saying, if you want to have your freedom of speech, you should attend, a 3-day course on where the freedom of speech right came from, where this came from, where that came from. You need to get trained on how to speak or something like that. People would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I can speak for myself, I could read for myself, and I could argue for myself.
Of course.
And that's that. People would be, like, in an uproar. But because it's something that's affected so many people, I'm not saying that it's not, they want to say that, it's contributed to bad things.
Yeah.
So we're going to restrict it as much as we can, because if not, people would die.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you can't hold up and wave the Constitution and, like, shroud yourself in the American flag and not realize that, like, the Bill of Rights itself carves out that argument that 2A advocates are looking for, which is the right to keep and bear arms.
Yeah. It's just crazy, man. Because
like, it's written in the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
It says it. If you want to take some type of recourse to, like, introduce new legislation, a new amendment or something like that repeals it or modifies it, that's one thing. That's a conversation that you could have. And maybe that's the route that if you really think that right no longer serves the purpose that it did before, and then it needs to be regulated because new things have come to light, then have it go to the people. Let the people vote on it.
Yeah.
Isn't that the point of a democracy?
I know.
And if times have changed, and if they think that they have enough backing for it, then maybe they'll rewrite it. Maybe they'll do something like that. But as written as it is right now, I don't see how you could regulate it in the ways that they've tried to.
Yeah. I think New York, I feel like, listen, the boroughs are one thing. They want to police the boroughs the way they want to, and they don't want people to have guns. I get it. But I feel like if you live upstate and you live in Long Island, like, how do those same rules, like, you know what I mean, apply?
Well, that's the whole question.
Like, I'm not in this. I mean, it's different for you to be in the city walking around. Like, let's say you do, like, I don't know how to explain myself. Like, it's just different. It shouldn't apply. Like, I get there's certain places in the city that are overcrowded. Like, you don't want somebody, like.
Well, that's one of the arguments, like population density.
Yeah, which is correct. I mean, I get it. Like, you don't want rounds flying and going through someone's house and hitting an innocent bystander. But also, like, they should have enough guns or enough people with the knowledge who do have guns, knowing that, like, I can't just go outside and spray my gun. Like I'm gonna.
That's the fear, I think. The fear of allowing people to have guns and trusting them
Yeah.
with having the correct sensibilities and responsibility,
Yeah.
judgment
Yeah.
with that gun to make that ultimate choice of, okay, I have a gun and it possesses, deadly force.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think that's the whole thing with the government. It's like they want to, try to restrict that judgment process or the allocation of that judgment process from its citizens and retain it for itself.
Yeah.
They want to, as much as possible, control that judgment to their own people, their own law enforcement, whatever falls under the government there.
I think we should just go and just stick by what it actually, right? Like what it says. Like
what does the Second Amendment say?
If people want to go and buy it, like
I literally went to law school.
Just call it a fucking day,
Second Amendment of the Constitution. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there are people that have literally memorized this.
So many thoughts of like, they want to get rid of people's guns, but like you're taking them away from people who, well, not saying they're taking them away, but you want to get rid of the ones that people like legally own, like
right. You're creating barriers for people
who are good people who don't want somebody to run in their house. And
the Second Amendment states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So literally, I mean, the definition of the Second Amendment, and it's like,
it's saying like
1, 2, 3 commas.
Yeah.
They argue over, how do those commas affect, the language being used there, what should be able to be regulated and stuff like that. But it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, which means to me that a military is necessary to maintain a free state, a free country, because there could be threats either from inside of that country or from outside of that country. The right of the people to keep and bear arms, firearms, shall not be infringed. And so what people argue is, okay, well, what are arms? Does it mean what it meant in 1776? Does it mean what it means now? Is it a musket?
Yeah.
Is it a musket? Is it an AR-15? What is it? Yeah. And it says in the last 4 words, shall not be infringed.
Yeah. I feel like it's very infringed, right?
Well, that's what the Supreme Court thought.
I know.
In the last decision that just came down, where they challenged a law in New York State that said, in order for you to have a concealed carry permit, you needed to show proper cause in order to get that license, and it was very, very restricted the circumstances in which you would be able to apply and be granted that license. Yeah. And it was guys that had and I might not be 100% on the facts, but I think it was just normal citizens who didn't have a particular need for it, the opponents of this said that they didn't have a particular need for it, but only said that they lived in basically high crime areas where there was strings of robberies and they could have been, their lives could have been endangered, and so that was their proper cause. Then the state said, no, that's not enough, and then it made its way up to the Supreme Court, where they said, no, the proper cause standard is not right. It's not constitutional.
Yeah.
They looked at the Second Amendment and probably made the biggest revision to the understanding of what states could do and how they could regulate firearms, restrict firearms possession in the last, I think, probably 10 or 20 years.
Yeah.
And they said that, no, you're not allowed to do that. But now, I mean, we know ourselves that they took that away. Okay, the proper cause standard is gone now. Yeah. But what do you need to do instead? You need to take a course for however many hours. You need to, give the law enforcement agency access to your social media accounts, this and that. They can look through it, make sure you're a good person, you're deserving of it. It's like, okay, but if you look to the Second Amendment, reasonable minds could differ in what that means.
Yep.
I mean, shall not be infringed.
Sounds like a lot of infringement, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like everybody quibbles about, how the amendment should be read, this and that. If you don't like the amendment, I mean, there are processes to get things repealed.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an option that's never really explored.
Yeah, because no one wants to go against the amendments, man.
Yeah.
Right. Rightfully so, right?
I mean, it's supposed to be important.
Mm-hmm.
These are supposed to be like the things that we look to when we
Yeah.
think about America.
But see, now, when I think about the amendments, is the whole cancel culture go against the Fourth?
No.
You know what I mean? Like when people are like, "Oh, you can't say this. That's hurtful. That
No,
hurts
so
my feelings."
the Bill of
so they
Rights
cancel you.
the Bill of Rights itself pertains to the government's actions against its people,
Yeah.
not private entity versus
Oh, okay.
private
Yeah,
entity.
you're right.
Yeah, so no, in short. But we lost that camera again.
Yeah, it's out.
But yeah, bro, this has been a fucking interesting conversation so
Yeah.
far. Touched on a lot of interesting fucking
Found out
topics.
being fringed.
Interesting topics, man.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say? You want to wrap up right here?
Yeah, your turn to wrap it up. I wrapped it up last time.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for another Few Brews podcast. Talked a lot about a lot of different things today. Leave us your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the things that we talked about? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that there needs to be more conversation? Do you think a whole episode should just be devoted to this one thing? Should we do more research? Should we dig into a specific topic? Let us know. A Few Brews Podcast. This has been Nick and Frank. We'll see you next time.
See you guys later.
All of us on
I know, right?